Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this third session of the series of mini webinars on respiratory fit testing. And this session is specifically on qualitative fit testing method. Even if there's still a lot of people missing in the attendees, I do suggest that we slowly start for the simple reason that we only have half an hour, so we should not lose 5 minutes waiting. Just a reminder of a few practical points. For the audience, you are automatically muted and your video is out. If you have questions, please use the Q&A feature so that we can see your questions and answer them at the end of the session. The webinar is recorded and will also be made available one of the next days on the ESF YouTube channel, where you will also find the previous sessions of this series. Can I have the next one, Janina? Okay, so for those who would not know the European Safety Federation, so we are the representative federation for national associations of suppliers of personal protective equipment, focusing mainly on professional use of PPE, not so much the private and specifically the sports use. And in addition of the national federations, we also have a series of companies and other and other industry stakeholders that are members of our organization. With that, I hand over to Janina Sander, who is chairing the working group Respiratory Protection, and who will mention what they're doing and introduce the speaker for today.
Yeah, thank you, Hank. So, my name is Janina Sander. I'm working for the company TSI, just to be complete. But I'm here as chair of the ESF working group Respiratory Protection. We are a working group within ESF consisting of 25 members from 15 different countries, and all members are involved in different organizations and committees. So we already do have a quite big knowledge within our group on respiratory protection, and our work focuses on research on RPE and fit testing, as well as awareness campaigns for respiratory protection. So I would invite all of you to take a look at the ESF LinkedIn channel, because there's currently an awareness campaign running, and we also focus on providing education on respiratory risks. And this is something we do with our webinar series. And this is a webinar series this year, started in January and ends in November this year, about respiratory fit testing, everything you need to know. We have the first part in January about respiratory protection and the importance of fit. The second part was in March, the question of why and how to perform fit testing. And now we have the third part on qualitative fit testing. And as Hank already mentioned, if you missed part 1 and 2, you're welcome to watch them on the YouTube channel. Today, as we focus on qualitative fit testing, we invited Bernard Julie. He is working as European Marketing Director at Medicom, a company in France. So he is as I said, the EU Marketing Director since 2020. So he is focusing in his job on marketing strategies and product communication, focusing for PPE and the healthcare solutions by Medicom. And why he's here today is because he's fascinated about workplace safety, innovation, and improving user adoption on respiratory protection programs through education and practical solutions. And as we do our education webinar, we thought he's a perfect speaker to talk with us today about qualitative fit testing. So, Benoit, welcome to this webinar.
Hello, everyone.
I think.
Yeah.
We can see you now. You can only see me.
Yes.
Now we see you. So thank you very much, Benoit, for joining. And yeah, we are looking forward to your presentation about qualitative fit testing.
Okay, so I hope everybody can see now the presentation.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Yes, now we see it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, hello everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. Today we will discuss qualitative fit testing, so not only from a compliance perspective, but from a real world protection perspective. So, because wearing protection, a respirator, is not enough by itself, the respirator must fit the individual wearer correctly in order to provide the expected level of protection. So today we are going to review why fit testing matters, how qualitative fit testing works, what are the common mistakes of fit testing, and the best practice to ensure reliable result. So it works. Okay, I don't know why. Yes. Okay. So one of the biggest misconception in respiratory protection is the idea that certified respirators automatically guarantee protection. So because my respirator is certified, there is a CE mark, it guarantees protection. But in reality, even a high-performance respirator can lose most of its effectiveness if the seal is compromised. So very important. So fit testing is what connects, in fact, the laboratory certified performance, so certification, to the actual protection in the workplace. So wearing a mask is not enough without a proper fit. This slide, in fact, maybe summarize the entire webinar because every face is different. Every face is different. Facial geometry, facial hair, skin condition, makeup, incorrect donning technique. All these factors influence the quality of the seal of the mask. This is why fit testing must always evaluate the individual wearer, not only the product. So the individual wearer, so it is a mask and the wearer, and not only the protection itself. So once we understand why fit matters, the next question, how do we evaluate fit testing? So there is two main approach in fit testing, the qualitative fit testing and the quantitative fit testing. Qualitative fit testing is subjective. So it relies on the wearer, detecting a taste or a smell. So advantage for the qualitative fit testing is low cost, portability, also qualitative fit testing, simplicity, and also ease of use in the field. For the quantitative fit testing, we need to use instrument to measure actual leakage and provide a numerical factors, in fact. So that means that the quantitative fit testing is more precise, but also require more equipment and an operator expertise. So what is very important to understand that these both methods, they are not competitors. They are complementary. So very important. The right method, I think, for you, for a company, depends of the respirator type, the risk level, and of course also the local regulation. Could be different depending on the market. So So first, qualitative fit testing. The principle of the qualitative fit testing is actually very simple. The wearer is exposed to a test agent inside the hood while wearing the respirators. If the wearer detects the taste or the smell, the seal has failed. So very basic. There is different agent may be used. Saccharin for the sweet test, Bitrex for the bitter test, and isoamyl acetate with a banana odor. Bitrex with the bitter taste, is widely used because it has an extremely low detection threshold. I don't know if some of you already tested it. You can be sure that you recognize this bitter taste. For the equipment itself, it's relatively very simple. You need a hood, you need nebulizer, and the test solution. But simplicity doesn't mean that the procedure could be improvised. So very important. It's yes, equipment and the procedure. Here you can see an equipment example. I don't want to deep dive in all the details of this equipment because you can add, for instance, here sizing guides to better see what is the face shape. You can also have some card holders and evaluation card at the end of the test. So it's only an example. What is very important to understand is that the reliability of the test depends less of the complexity of the equipment, but more of the consistency of the protocol. A good operator technique is absolutely critical. So here you can see on this path the step-by-step fit protocol. So what is the process itself? First, it is a sensitivity test. It is the first step. This step confirms that the wearer can actually detect the test agent. It's very important to have a good sensitivity test. Skipping this test completely invalidates the global test. Second step, it is donning. So donning the respirator. So the respirator must then be done correctly. A proper user check, a seal check is very essential before starting the test. So it's why we ask the wearer to ensure with hands that the mask is really good seal on the face. After we have the different exercises. The wearer needs to perform a different series of exercises. So head movement, speaking, bending, and different breathing pattern. These exercises simulate real working condition. Next, the last one, it is the result. Does the test pass or fail? If the wearer detects the agent at any point, the test failed. If no detection occurs, the fit test is considered acceptable. So important final for the important in terms of final validation at the end of the procedure, it's very important to reconfirm the sensitivity of to the bitter test, if we talk about the Bitrex. So this final validation ensures that the wearer did not lose sensitivity during the test. It could also yes, it could happen. Okay. So key requirements and good practices. A fit test is only reliable if several different conditions are respected. Facial hair. Every 1 or 2 days of stubble can compromise completely the seal for men. So facial hair is in the sealing area must disqualify the test. So very important. In all different tests, we can see that some people who have the stubble 2 days or 1 day of stubble. No, it can completely compromise the seal and so on the test. Preparation. The wearer should not eat drink, smoke, or chew chewing gum before testing. Otherwise, sensitivities result could be also made unreliable. Environment, so control environment of the test. Airflow and environment conditions also matters. A draft or strong ventilation in the area where the test is performed may disperse all the test agent as well. And last but not least, operator training. So the operator must be properly trained before the test, because the fit testing is a standardized procedure. Not only is not a spraying solution into a hood. No, the operator, the trainer, need really to be trained before to perform this test. What are the common mistakes and procedural pitfalls? Most failed or invalid tests are not caused by the respirator itself. They are procedural. So it's very important, because at the end of the test, you could say, okay, no, the respirator, the mask is not a good one. It's not a good one because the test failed. No, more of the fail are due to the procedure of the test itself. The main common mistake is the sensitivity test. So the first step, if you remember what I showed you. The most common error is skipping. So I remind you to skip this very important sensitivity test to ensure that the wearer can really smell or test the agent. Other incorrect common mistakes, it's the nebulizer technique. Incorrect nebulizer use, for instance, inconsistent squeezing, clogged nebulizer. It's very important, we need to mention just after, you need to ensure before the test and with the maintenance that the nebulizer is not clogged. And incorrect also rhythm for the spray. Other common mistake is the respirator position. So it's why it's very important, the second step, to ensure that the respirator, the mask, it's really well fit on the face. It's simply done. It's well done on the wearer. And also the exercises. Exercises must follow a correct sequence and duration. You don't have to skip all the exercises. You need to bend, you need to move head, you need to breathe. All these exercises need to be done and follow a correct sequence. So what to keep in mind is that when the test failed, the first question should always be, was the procedures followed correctly? Was the procedure followed correctly? It is the first question before saying that no, it's not a good mask, not a good respirators. So consistency is a foundation of reliable fit testing. Consistency is really the foundation. Normally, two trained or three trained different operators should obtain the comparable result using the same protocol. Very important. So operators must fully understand each step of the procedures. It is the first step, first very important role of the training. Equipment competency, it is what I mentioned just before, when I mentioned the clogged nebulizer. So the trainer need to know, of course, how to use the fit testing, so the nebulizer, for instance, and maintain also the equipment correctly. So that means before the test, you need to ensure that the fit testing kit, the fit testing, yes, is maintained, no damage, and so on. Error recognition, also very important. The trainer need to recognize invalid test in real time, and need to stop when he need to stop also when he see invalid test and start again, for instance. And documentation, very important. Documentation is critical for compliance and traceability. So, yes, we are in time. So what are key takeaways for the fit testing? If there is one key message to remember today is a certified respirator does not automatically guarantee protection. So certified respirator, the CE mark on the mask does not automatically guarantee protection. Protection really depends on the quality of the seal between the respirators and the individual wearer. Okay, so I would say the main conclusion is that qualitative fit testing is really reliable when it's performed correctly. So it's why the protocol, the standardization, it's very, very important for qualitative fit testing. Because this protocol adherence is not negotiable. So yes, you need to really follow all this, the protocol, the standardization. Okay. Most of the failures, what I mentioned just before, are procedural, sorry. It's always, many of the time, errors in the method. So it's why you need to take time. You need to take time to follow all the procedure of the fit testing and all the different, for instance, exercise to check before, as I mentioned, that the wearer really can smell or test and the different agent. And training is really essential, finally, for standardization and reliability. So that means a trainer who come really first, who would like to do for the first time a fit testing, you can be sure that we can see a failure in procedure. So it's why it's very important to be trained before to do this fit testing. Yes, I think I'm not late.
Yeah, thank you very much, Benoit. There were lots of very important information on it, and I think I really will take the possibility to rewatch to not miss any of those key takeaways. So thank you very much for your presentation. There were lots of great information in it, and yeah, we now have 6 minutes for some questions to ask. So I remind everyone that we have the Q&A feature where you are able to post in your questions. And there's the first question that's thank you. How long does the test take? So the whole qualitative fit testing, including sensitivity test and the fit test performance.
Yes, but it depends, but I think you can take, I would say, half an hour for global qualitative fit testing, more or less, to ensure that you have to have people in the room, all the different steps. So take at least 30 minutes for one person.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there a difference in between the time depending on the substance you use? Because you mentioned Bitrex and saccharin and these banana oil taste. Is there a difference in time? Or
No,
is it independent of the
no,
substance?
there is no difference in time. It's why the first step is very important to ensure at the beginning of the test that the wearer can really smell the banana, for instance, or the sugar and or the bitter taste. It's also why the Bitrex is more used than the others, because you can be sure that bitter, everybody already tells the bitter smell. You know it, and you really yes, it's really recognizable.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Then I have one question. You mentioned that there should not be eating and drinking before the test. For how long?
For long, I would say it's the same. It depends what you drink. But if you drink a glass of water, yes, it's okay. So, but I would say at least 1 hour before. You don't have to you see to have a lunch or smoke and stuff like that to ensure that no dispersion. Yes, a good testing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. There's another question that's asking, you mentioned that you can have many mistakes in the use of the nebulizer. Where do I find information about how to correctly use it? So you mentioned the angle and too fast, too slow. Is there a common source where I can find how to do it correct?
Yeah, normally with a kit, I show you very quickly. There is a procedures. So, for instance, on our kit, we have a USB key. You can or have some kind of instruction for use. So it will explain you how, or it could be also a video to explain you how to use the nebulizer, how you to squeeze the numbers. So you can see normally could be yes on pictures on video how you to use it.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So I don't see any other question in the chat, but I want to give a more minute. And maybe one other question I thought of before. You mentioned the sensitivity test. Is there a specific procedure, and can you give some insights about the procedure of the sensitivity test? Do I need to do these exercises from the fit test, or is that not needed for the sensitivity test?
What do you mean for?
So what's so you mentioned the procedure of the fit test where the people need to do the exercises, the movements. Is there such a procedure for the sensitivity test?
Yeah, no, but for the first step, the sensitivity test, the objective is really to see with the mask if with and without the mask is really the wearer can really smell or test. In fact, this. So yes, there is a specific procedure. It's also written in the global procedure. In fact, so there is some test exactly for this sensitivity is not easy test. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't see any other question. So thank you again very much, Benoit, for this very interesting presentation about qualitative fit testing. And with 1 minute left, I only have to say one more thing. And this is the outlook for the rest of our webinar series. So our next session will be on July 24th, the same time, 30 minutes short webinar. And in that webinar, we will take a look on the quantitative fit testing method of CNC. So what is the method, how does the method work, and how to use this method for fit testing. You can also already register for that webinar using the QR code on the slide or the link on the slide. And we will have after summer in September the same webinar about the other quantitative fit testing method called CNP. So the same questions as you see in the bullets. What is this method? How does this method work? And how to use this method for fit testing. So that we then really had 3 webinars today: qualitative fit testing, July quantitative CNC fit testing, and in September quantitative CNP method. And then there is only the November final of our series yet planned. So that's how our series will move on. So I invite everyone to register for the next webinar. And for now, I can only say again, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Benoit, for the great presentation. And yeah, have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.